Hello, internets. I'm here tonight on a Monday. It is the Savannah Performance Project, the interview. This is episode number 85. And I am I'm a little miffed by the past week. It's been a crazy week, and I know everybody's been paying attention, and I don't usually talk about news ever. But I think it's important that I cover a couple of like earth-shattering things that have happened. And I know you're all aware of it. Giants have been discovered. There are giants that were uncovered in Greece. I know everybody's seen this, and I don't know what to think, but it's pretty amazing. And this comes from Adventist Youth Disciples Ministry, that these photos are from a recent archaeological dig in Greece. They discovered the skeletal remains of these giants that prove the Bible true. Now, I have no debate about that, but in Genesis, you guys know this book of the Bible, Genesis 6:4, there were giants on the earth in those days, along with that one, several others, such as Numbers 13:33 and Deuteronomy 2. They were described as Nephilim in the Greek text. But these pictures document the fact that someone knows how to use Photoshop very extensively. And my mother knows how to share it on Facebook. It's true. So there you go, folks. It's right there in color and also sepia tone, I believe. But yeah. So that was one of the earth-shattering events that took place this past week. The second, and I know it's not really an earth-shattering event, but I think it's important for people to note that when people get lost and people are looking for other people, that we should share that information. And I'm not sure if you folks have seen this, but it's pretty important that I share it with you right now. Not that. I don't want to see that again. Stop doing that, Chris. We have this couple. Their picture was found in a broken frame on the ground outside of an abandoned house. And I know this is important because my mother has shared it 4 times already. If you know who this couple is, get in touch with someone on Facebook, whoever shares it next, and let them know. And we can find the family of this couple, and they can be reunited with this lovely picture of the family. Folks, I think it's important that we cover these events that have happened in this past week. But that in mind, my mother is an amazing person. I love her dearly, and she shares a lot of stuff on Facebook. But I know another mother, and she is waiting backstage, enjoying a fine assortment of charcuterie. I have some loose bologna that I flew in from the Red and White down the street. It is delicious. It's nutritious. And I know she's enjoying it, as well as a fine Limburger pate. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to bring her out. Dena Blizzard.
Hello.
Oh.
I'm sorry I was late. It was all the food you had backstage. I only found this water bottle, which was weird because I know you had all that spread set up. So
that is weird. Perhaps the staff were enjoying the finest work.
The staff is not on it. Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good indeed. Did you catch any of that information from last week?
What? Oh yeah, no, I did. I saw the picture. No, I did not see, and I was on board until you said it was photoshopped.
Oh.
I'm like basically your mother. I'm completely gullible. I believe everything. I believe everything, and so yeah, I'd be like, oh my gosh, did you see the giant head? Come up with a reason why I work. The only one more gullible than me is my husband, which makes it fun because I'm really good at lying. So anytime something's remotely like off, and he's like, "Is that true?" I'm like, "Of course it is," and then I'll go on and on. It's a lot of fun. That's time during the pandemic. Lying is great during the pandemic. So
it is. Lying is pervasive during the pandemic.
It is. For a lot of people in government, it's just fun.
Now, there are a lot of people in government. It is amazingly true that is about.
I noticed your shirt. Look at you sporting the shirt.
Yes. This one spoke to me.
It speaks to a lot of men. Mhm. You don't
Yeah.
know how many women will send me pictures of their husbands in that shirt, but fully asleep.
Well, I was going to suggest that perhaps you have this great shopping cart where people can go and buy these catch. I don't want to say phrases, catch sayings. Let's say catch sayings.
Thanks. Mhm.
But I was going to suggest that maybe you get some of us more,
Muscular.
manly. No, not say muscular. More dad types to maybe show off some of these shirts.
Yeah. Well, dad bod's in right now. I don't know if you heard that. It's part of your news, but dad bod is in.
I'm working on my dad bod. It's been COVID friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom was watching. She wanted to comment on the fact that she did delete those posts. So thanks, thanks, Mom.
Your mom.
She's awesome. So I have to tell you how I know you.
Yeah.
So yes, we have a good friend in common. Her name is Kayla Johnson.
Yeah.
And Kayla was in Jersey for a short while, like a couple years ago.
But you could not suck the Southern out of Kayla. It was everywhere. So it was funny. She was working with us, and one of the girls' names was Jenny. And so every time we'd be sitting around the table, she's like, and is that Jenny's job? And we're like, who? She's like, Jenny. We're like, who's Jenny? She's like, Jenny. We're like, I don't have anybody here named Jenny. She was like, Jenny. And I'm like, you saying Jenny? Because there's a difference between Jenny and Ginny. She's like, that's what I'm saying Jenny.
Yeah, it's the Forrest Gump version of Jenny.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I get it.
Jenny.
Jersey Jenny. So there's some people out there that don't know a lot about you. I think most of the people watching right now all know who you are, because I've never had 84 people watch at one time.
Oh, this is big.
It is huge. It's huge. It's almost as big as what you posted right before this, where you found out how you could put advertising on your Facebook.
It's super dumb, Chris. But like I started, right? And when I started doing Facebook Lives, it was so new, and we had like maybe 30 people watching. So it's like, oh, let's get your girlfriends together. But they had this thing, and they said if you had 300 people, they would turn these ads on. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. So we hit 300 people, and then nothing happened. And so they've been working on this program for a while. Like if you make a video and you post it, you can put ads on it. But for those people who are, dedicated to doing lives like yourself, like there's a lot of time that goes into these lives, and just as much, if not more, than doing a video. So we do a little bit of both, but we've been doing so many lives because of the pandemic, and now we have a morning show. So we're live every day for an hour. So it's just nice. I feel like, I know it's annoying to the people that watch, but it's, it's a great way to support do you call them artists if they just talk about I don't know. Support people who, are basically providing content, but in a different way. So it wasn't so much that it was the ads, but it was just something like, it's literally been like a 4-year process for us. So it's big. Listen, there's not a lot to celebrate during a pandemic. So any chance I'm like, oh, this is something.
Yeah. I thought it was huge. I can't wait till I get above 89. We're at 89 now, folks.
Setting a record.
Number 90 gets a prize. You get the baloney that's left. Oh, we're at 93. We jumped up to 93. Crazy.
Oh, this is so crazy.
So
for my people that are watching, we have Kayla in common. And Kayla I met through her husband, Clay, who's part
Clay
of
Johnson,
the orchestra. And so those fellows we're big fans of. So there are other artists that we've met along our journey. And I have found that, as an artist, we were a touring show. We had an Off Broadway show, and we met them, and we, you just meet these amazing, talented people, and everybody kind of stays in touch. And so they became like family to us. So it was super lovely. But your part, so for my people that are watching, the Savannah Project, what is that?
So the Savannah Performance Project was started, it was kind of a concept of mine that I was thinking about a long time. I've been in the performance community here in Savannah for about 10 years. And I guess about 7 years ago, I thought that people needed to talk to one another, these different groups that were doing performance and theater and music and everything in Savannah needed to talk to each other and try and come up with their season, like decide what they were going to do for the week or the month or the year, because they weren't doing that. And so I started this calendar to show the different performance events and expose it to not only the different groups that were doing it, but also the people in Savannah, so they could come out and see shows.
Yeah.
And so that was my idea. And then about, in March, I was planning on having a community meeting where everybody could come together and talk about it.
Right.
And then, of course, this hit. No community meeting. And I didn't know what to do.
You guys are more open than we are in New Jersey, right? Like you guys are still doing some performance.
We are. So for instance, our good friends, Clay and Jeremy they're performing to groups of people that are in person, but people are staying socially distant because they're allowed to.
Yeah.
And also people are, we have a mask ordinance here in Savannah.
Okay.
So people are supposed to wear masks when they go into buildings and such, but when you're out in the open, it's not required. And I could be slightly wrong on that, so nobody jump down my throat on that.
Honestly, you could have been right yesterday and wrong today because it just changes all the time.
Exactly. It does. But it does allow us to have a little more freedom here. But at the same time, we're all trying to be very focused on staying safe.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So tell me about the One Funny Mother show that.
Remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2019, I guess.
I don't remember it. No. It was funny because yesterday I was cleaning and I found my comedy book, right? So like when I was touring or when I was doing stand-up, every time I would do a show, from the time that I started, I'll write down the date, who I worked with, and the set that I did. And so I've got a bunch of these books. But I found my current book today while I was cleaning. And it was just so weird because the last date in it is like March 3rd, 2020.
Oh, wow.
There's just nothing, and realistically, as you know, I mean, with entertainment, the whole point with entertainment is to jam as many people into the smallest space possible so you get a great vibe and you put on a good show. And it just definitely feels like that'll be the last thing that comes back. So
yeah,
it's definitely a weird time to be an artist. But when I had a show, it was good. So I'm funny. At least that's what I think I remember. But I still wanted to stand up, and I noticed, a few years into it, that everything I talked about was always my kids or my husband. And I had a few friends that were kind of putting on different shows. So there was like a He Said, She Said show that I was in, and the more I kind of learned about long form shows, the more I was like, I think I could do this. And so, so the long story short is I was doing stand up and I was hired to do a gig in the Northeast, like Maine or something. And I was late and I knew I was going to be late. And I called them to say like, hey, I'm running behind. I just want to give you a heads up. She goes, don't worry about it. We're running so late with dinner. And so we're going to have our dinner and then we have the hour and a half set aside for you. And then we'll be done. And I was like, yeah, great. Yeah, sure. Okay. And I hung up and I was like, there was clearly a miscommunication. Like, my girlfriend's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't have any, like, I don't know why she thinks I'm doing an hour and a half. I have 40 minutes. That's all I have. And she's like, that's fine. You'll just do another 40 on top of it. I was like, it took me 8 years to write 40 minutes. Like, I don't have another 40 minutes in my butt. Yeah. And so, so we get there and I'm at the bar. And I'm freaking out now. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I get a napkin and my girlfriend's like, tell the story about when Dean lost his balls. Remember that? And I was like, she's like, that's a funny one. Write that down. And then we just sat at the bar and she's like, tell the one where Jim gave the gift card to the Dunkin' Donuts to the 5-year-old for their birthday. I was like, oh, that's a good one. And so it was this whole, I wrote all of them down on a napkin. And then I went up with my napkin, and I think I did more than an hour and a half. I think I did like 2 hours. It was something ridiculous. It was all over the place, but it was funny. And I just remember looking at this napkin at the end of the night, and I was like, I could do 2 hours on a napkin, like, what would this look like if I was like trying, right? Because it wasn't really. And so within a short amount of time, Mother's Day was coming up. And so I went to like a local theater and I said, hey, I'd like to do a show. And they were like, okay, we'll just do it. And that was the beginning of, it wasn't good. I mean, it was real crazy. But it was the beginning of what would become good. So I guess that's the process, is start something not good, and hopefully people buy tickets to that so that you can make something that's better than.
So you started the show in New Jersey, then it moved off Broadway. What was New Jersey considered off Broadway?
It moved to a couple elk lodges and moose lodges and Italian American places well before it was off Broadway. One place I performed at, it was like an Italian American club. And we get there, and like I had like 2 people that were doing tech for me. And so we get there and they're like, do you want us to show you to your dressing room? I was like, yes, thank you. And I go back, and it was the pantry for the kitchen of the Italian American. So it was just tomato paste and just sauces and then that was my dressing room. So I got changed in the pantry. It was a low point in my life, but it was a fine show. It was mostly funny. And so yeah, there were a couple steps in between the first show and off Broadway. It's probably 4 years, I would guess.
Yeah. How long had you been doing stand-up before that?
So I've been doing stand-up now for 19 years. So I started in 2002. It's probably 2013. So probably 11 years, maybe 11 years when I attempted to do the first iteration of the show. But it was just funny. Like, we didn't have a script, so like we'd show up to theaters, and like I said, I have a comedy book, and in my comedy book it just says like hoagie, asshole, just a whole bunch of words or something, and then. And I would just see the word and I'm like, oh, I know what that joke is. So when we got to the theater, they were like real theaters. And they're like, do you have a script? I'm like, nah. I'm like, when I say hoagie, lights out. And that's how we did the show. It was the most, I'm sure they were like, okay. Like, we looked completely ridiculous when we walked in. I'm sure they were like, this is going to be a train wreck. But I was very confident in the material. I was like, I'm funny. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm funny. So I knew I could save it even if I messed it up. So I kind of rested maybe a little too much. Eventually we wrote the script out, and that was like a big moment, because then we wrote it out and I was like, look at all the words I say. Like, you don't realize how big your script is until I guess you're supposed to write it, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have 3 kids, right?
3, yes.
2 in college and 1 in high school?
That's right.
That's right.
How about you?
I have 2 kids. I have 1 in college and 1 in high school.
These are good times.
They are great times.
Yeah.
Did you go through graduation last year?
No.
Oh, well,
well, that's not true. We did. We did one in July.
Okay.
But high school graduation is like a big deal. We would have had a big party and the families and the tent and the thing. And we didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
We sat in the driveway with my parents and did all that. So it was what it was. It's funny. Like, I don't know what kind of party is going to happen after a pandemic is over, but how many things that I've said to my kids, I'm like, and when pandemic is over, we'll have a big party. It's going to be the party of all parties, because I've literally postponed every party until the one giant party we're going to have after the pandemic. So, will you
live stream that? Is that going to be live streamed?
I'll probably sell tickets, virtual tickets, for people that want to just.
Definitely. You're cool. I think I will too. Yeah. I think these 129 people, you're all invited.
Look at it! It's so exciting. This is a big moment. People are hearing all about what you do. So now what happens? So now, do you all get together virtually in Savannah?
So we had our first meeting about, I'm going to say 2 weeks ago, and we all sat in a room, but we were like 6 feet apart, and we were all wearing masks. And then we also had a Zoom meeting going on at the same time with people that were not here in Savannah.
Now, let me ask you, here's the most important question for you, Chris.
Yes.
Was Paula Dean there?
No.
I feel like you cannot have a Savannah organization without politics.
So I've met Paula probably 4 or 5 times. And I went to her restaurant before she even got big, before she had a show or anything. Before like all the other stuff happened, or maybe after. It's probably after.
Probably.
Yeah.
Although her book is so good, and she talks about how she was agoraphobic and she wouldn't leave the house and had no money. So she'd cook, and the boys would go out and sell sandwiches. And then she moved into like a Holiday Inn in the kitchen there.
I worked at a liquor store that was right in front of that Holiday Inn.
Really?
And we would go and get sandwiches from there and have them for lunch. Yeah.
No, I mean, the story's great. I worked with her. That was my very first. Audience warm-up job in Savannah. So we'd go down to Savannah for about 2 weeks at a time and shoot a bunch of shows. And I did. So I'd read all of her books, and she's really extraordinary. You know, it's a great story about her family and all of that. And she's very natural. You know, like who you saw on television, like. This is it. So we had done the shows in Savannah, and that's why. And then I was walking around at night. This is all I remember about Savannah. Walking around at night, and there's not a lot of street lights. So you'd be walking, it's kind of dimly lit, but it just looked like the whole sidewalk was moving. And I was like, so I'd put my foot down, and then it would move. But it was kind of too dark, and I'm like, let me get my light out. It was all palmetto bugs. And I was like, what are these? They're like, those are palmetto bugs. They had a special name for it. And I was like, looking at them, I was like, those are cockroaches. And they're like, honey, those are palmetto. I'm like, in Jersey, we call them cockroach. And they were all over the street, and you put your foot down and they'd scat. Oh.
Yeah. They're lovely, lovely animals. Not animals, but, you know, they're cute. I have 3 as pets. They're
disgusting. You ever go to like a different part of the country and you meet their animals or their insects? You're like, nah. Like I can't live in Florida for the lizards. I'm like, I'm out. I can't.
Oh yeah, that does.
Cheers to us.
So you have a couple of shows that you do regularly here on the Facebooks. The one is coming up tomorrow. That would be Tipsy Tuesday.
Well, in the morning we'll do One Funny Morning. So we do that every morning from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern time. And then and then tomorrow's Tipsy. And Tipsy Tuesday started it all. It actually is also the 4-year anniversary of that show. So it was 4 years ago, and I was stressing out. I refused to pay $40 at the Halloween stores for the little packages made up of material that's thinner than this. And you can wear it one time. I was like, I'm not doing it. So because I wanted to save $10, I go to every store under the sun and just buy a little waste of time. So by the time Halloween came, I was so aggravated. I spent more money than the stupid $40. So I was so done with Halloween. So we decided to create a new holiday called Wineween, where it's the day after Halloween, where you eat all your kids' candy and drink wine. And so my girlfriend made this logo called Wineween, and she's like, you're going to go live for Wineween. And I was like, okay. And we had never done nighttime. We'd always done daytime. So we did no prep whatsoever. And then I wasn't going to do it. I was like, I'm not going to do it. She's like, I made a logo. And I'm not sure why that was like the gravity of that was like, oh, she did make a logo, I guess, on the live. So we went live, and like 9,000 people showed up. And I was like, what is happening? Apparently drinking on the internet, listen, I've been drinking in my living room for a long time. Nobody showed up. But the minute you put it on the internet, thousands of people. It's very funny. So
there's a lot of people that like to drink, I think.
At nighttime on a Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesdays are rough.
Tuesdays are rough. I have a number of people. Oh gosh, so many people that want to say hello. Jill.
Hello, Jill.
Hello, yeah. My sister says, bless her. She's talking about my mom, of course. Also, she's going to spank you. That was for me. That was for me, not you.
Wow.
And someone else, of course, on the shirt. Yeah. Gosh, it's going to take me an hour to get to all these. Hello, all. Hello, Candace. And I'm just doing this because you always comment on your people.
Oh,
Tell him about the meat shirt. Okay, let me know about the meat shirt. What's the meat shirt?
all right, tell me if you'd wear this shirt.
All right.
First of all, my husband has a really weird affinity with t-shirts that he's had since he was in his 20s and refuses to get rid of them, so there's holes in them. But he's like, but this is my shirt. So his favorite thing is he loves meat. He's like a caveman. Men have a very weird connection to meat.
Visceral.
Very visceral.
Yes.
And so I was always talking about, like, instead of making like 2 vegetables or 3 vegetables and a meat, Jim will make 3 meats and then like put some applesauce. And it's like, we're ready. And I was like, that's not a meal. And so it was always about the meats. Well, somebody bought him some rub. I think they rub a lot of meats in Savannah, right? There's like,
oh, we love to rub meats here in Savannah.
Right? So as soon as he got the rub, all bets were off. He's like, I got to rub the meats. So no matter what we're doing, I'm like, can you help me move this couch? He's like, I'm rubbing the meats. So I said I was going to get him a shirt that says I rub the meats. She said he wouldn't wear it, which I thought was weird. I think it's a solid shirt. Would you wear that shirt?
I would wear that shirt.
You rub the meats.
Yes. It would bring about a lot of questions, but I'd still wear it. That's a great shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I got hey bitch. I can't even say that.
Yeah.
I'm a Southern boy.
A lot of curse words tonight, and I apologize.
We call that a meat? What? Okay, that's my sister. I don't know what you're talking about.
Your mom says that. Love the rub.
Love the rub the meats. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And yes. And Jennifer Gingy Todd Martin.
Make the shirt. Blizzard.
Meat shirt. And yes, of course, hearts. Always hearts. Dena has brought a lot of together and help. I know we're missing a word there, but I totally agree with that sentiment. That you have brought a lot of people with some joy and some happiness and togetherness in this time. I've been trying to do the same thing, so I totally appreciate that. And wow, you've brought a lot of people to this page, which I totally appreciate too.
How many people are here now?
We had 151. We're down to 148, but you know.
Sometimes really.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't spread over.
And Erica said she would wear that shirt as well.
I'm telling you, making shirts are so funny because you're just not quite sure what like people are gonna buy or what's gonna go. That shirt that you're wearing in particular, we weren't even gonna make that shirt. We had a list of like 6 shirts that were all. We had never done men's shirts before, so we had about 6 shirts that we were gonna do, and I took a vote, and that shirt was voted the last shirt.
Really?
Don't even run it. I go, I don't know. Like my dad would wear this shirt. Like he falls asleep all the time. And so we put the shirts out, and it oversold all the other shirts tenfold. It was just so funny. You're just like, hold on, I'm literally gonna kill my dog right now.
And you have 2 dogs, but a new dog, right? So 3 dogs.
I have 3 dogs. I go into it pretending to foster a dog, but all you have to do is look at me with the puppy eyes, and then I adopt them. It's not good. It's not good. But we've hit our cap now.
Yeah.
No more. So if we foster, we just can't look at them in the eye. They're like Medusa. We're like, yeah, we'll take this puppy in, but just don't look it in the eye.
So we're cat people. We have 3 cats. But my wife Helen really wants a dog, so she keeps every 3 days, every 2 days, every 1 day, she shows me another picture of some sweet puppy.
Hold on, I'm writing a very dirty text to my son.
Okay, good. This is Dean.
I just cursed at Dean about that.
Okay.
We've never gone live from the Shadorm, and now I know why.
This is a momentous occasion then that you've gone live from the Shadorm on my show. So thank you for that too. Wow, I could probably talk to you for another 30 to 40 to 50 minutes. I know I could.
Good times.
It
Good
is
times.
good
Well,
times.
I'm glad that everybody got to meet you and what you're doing. So, do you have other people lined up? Who else is coming on the shows?
So I believe next week I have a woman who played Princess Anna on Broadway. So check that out. That's Laura Darrell. She played Princess Anna on Broadway. She says she's coming on. We'll see if she actually does.
Do you have a lot of people that bail on you at the last
No, actually, nobody has bailed on me yet. We've had a number of Broadway people. Laura Osmus was a big name that we had on. She played Cinderella on Broadway. And we do, I feature a lot of people that are in theater and performance.
Now, when you describe me, can you say, like, Dena, she played, who's like a big, like, who could I play? Like, who would I be good at playing on Broadway?
Trying to think. Somebody, maybe somebody in Wicked, maybe?
Yes. The witch. The witch. Say, Dena had formerly played the Wicked Witch on Broadway. If you could say that.
I will.
I'm going to check it.
Elphaba. You played Elphaba in Wicked on Broadway.
So I saw it. So you just preface it like, all right, say it like this. Say Dena from Wicked. Just Dena from Wicked.
Wicked on Broadway's Wicked. Yes.
You don't have to say I was in it. I mean, I was from it because I went to it. So
you went to it.
Blizzard from Wicked on Broadway, and they'll say, "Who did she play?" And then you just say Wicked Witch, and you'd be talking about me personally, but that just happened to be that character as well. Just it's a play on words, Chris, or Evita. Don't cry. In case I can't tell. I gotta say it. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Yeah.
Kayla's daughter was just in Evita.
Who?
Kayla's daughter.
No, she was in Chicago.
She was also in Chicago.
They did Evita too?
They did. They
see,
did.
Thing. I just want to see the scene where she does this at the window. I feel like the rest of it I do that. I don't really have a good attention span for musicals. I just want to see the good parts.
The good parts. Yeah, Madonna doing this is like, yeah, that's.
I don't think I'd be a good reviewer of, oh my God, do you want to hear the worst thing that I ever did on Broadway?
Yes.
Okay. It's awful. Two things. This actually happened. So every year I host this program called Broadway on the Boardwalk in Atlantic City. And, you know, Atlantic City was a great place for when Broadway shows would launch. They actually used to launch them in Atlantic City, test them out, and then bring them up the coast to Broadway. So that's historically like this kind of interesting fact. So in the summers, this program, it started out as 4 weeks, then it went to 8 weeks, and they do it on Monday nights. It was a free program, and they would take all the plays that were dark in New York, and they take them down the turnpike, and they perform for free for audiences in Atlantic City every Monday, right? Two things. So one year we had Kinky Boots, and my job is to introduce them and just say some fun stuff, play with the audience, give out some prizes. Fine. It's a very simple job. Maybe so simple that sometimes I mentally check out. Whatever. So Kinky Boots is up there, and for whatever reason, I exit them, right? I'm going to exit Kinky Boots. I'm about to bring out another play, and sometimes we'll throw some fun facts in. And I said, let's hear it for Kinky Boots. Music by Cyndi Lauper, lyrics by Harvey Weinstein. And let's hear it. I go, next, Jersey Boys. Now, there's like an uncomfortable thing, but show must want. I don't notice it, whatever. So I'm Jersey Boys. I bring out Jersey Boys. I think I nailed it. I come off stage, and everybody is just has the face. And I was like, what? They're like, you just told the audience that Harvey Weinstein wrote lyrics for Kinky Boots. I was like, I would never do that. It is what you do. It's Harvey
Firestein.
Harvey
Firestein.
So close.
You know Harvey Firestein. Yes.
Yeah. So now Jersey Boys is done, so I got to go back up. I go, let's hear it for Jersey Boys. And quick little correction. Turns out not Harvey Weinstein. So that was the first super dumb thing I said. Okay, fast forward. Couple summers. Now I think I had Wicked. It was Wicked. No, it's Wicked. Oh no! What's the one with Olaf? Frosty.
Frozen.
Frozen. Okay.
Yes.
Whatever. So Wicked had been there the week prior. Loved Wicked. They painted me green. Like I literally was the Wicked Witch. Right? It's fabulous. But now we had, here, did get the green makeup. Yes, thank you, Andrea. So, so now we have a Frozen, and it was a great night. Whatever. All I have to, they were literally the last one, right? Just the big, let it go, right? Big ending. All I have to do is thank you guys so much. I go, that's amazing. Let's hear for the cast of Wicked. And the whole cast acted really weird. I was like, you guys are weird. And then I walked off, and the director's just standing there. I was like, what? He's like, you literally just called them the cast of Wicked. I was like, you're ridiculous. Like every time I will deny, because you should always deny that.
Yeah.
You should never own up to that. And, but thankfully someone recorded it and played it back. And apparently I might have called the whole cast of Frozen.
It's great that we have this time in our lives. I know when you and I were kids, this was not what occurred. We said things and people just forgot about them.
You could deny it right afterwards, and nobody could prove you wrong. Now these kids want to show you their videotapes, whatever. So I'm pretty sure they're probably going to ask me to like host the Tonys. Is that the Tonys?
Yes.
Yeah. See? Because I'm so knowledgeable.
Yeah, and you could actually, that would be your whole thing, where you would get everything wrong, and I think it would be amazing.
Frosty, exactly.
Kayla, hey, I just had to bring her. She's yelling your name. She's backstage somewhere, I guess.
Yes.
And apparently my sister's taping this, so that if I do say anything wrong. Don't worry, I'm taping it too. I'm going to post it to Instagram later.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you can do that. In this format, in this StreamYard thing that I use.
Got it.
I'll send you the brochure.
All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing amazing things for Savannah. As people like you, especially now in entertainment, the fact that you're doing things like this and spotlighting different artists and, with the great things, but also the struggles. I mean, none of those Broadway people are working. It's a hard time. And it's not just performers, but so many friends of mine when I was working in television, the engineer guys, audio guys, camera guys, it's been difficult. And sadly, like I said, there's not really an end in sight for our industry. And so it is interesting to see how people are changing and adapting, and I think that your show is a great example of that. So thanks for having me on, and look forward to seeing what other Broadway stars besides Dena from Wicked.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I know Dena from Wicked was amazing get for us. Amazing.
I did see Wicked.
And Brooke Lab, thank you, Brooke, for saying that. Dena, you got to book a Savannah gig. I'll talk to the boys over there at the Equinox. They'll get you down here, or somebody else. I don't know. We could probably get somebody else to do it.
Somebody.
But yes, thank you so much for being here. I will be watching Uppy.
Oh yeah, our morning show. That's how we wake up every day.
And I love it because Jim is on his Zoom. He's still doing his Zoom.
Yeah. Jim does have the Zoom diet. Yeah. He's got his own diet going on.
And your kids are there from time to time. They're great. They're great. What do you call that?
Fodder.
That's the word. I was gonna say like your AP. Your AP, is that assistant production?
Yeah, assistant producer.
Yeah. They're great at that. So
Team did bring me this light,
and just as a last minute thing, Kayla takes full responsibility for this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Again, yes, watch Uppy 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 on One Funny Morning. It's got a different name though. It's Funny Mornings.
No, it's called One Funny Morning.
One Funny Morning. And check that out. I'll put a link in the chat so anybody who doesn't already watch you among this 167 now.
Look at you. So exciting.
Oh, and by the way, while I'm here, my real estate agent says that I have to mention that I'm selling my house. So any of you who want a house in Savannah, come on down.
Let's take us on a tour. Can you take us on a tour?
I can. Let's do that. That's going to be amazing.
3-bedroom, 2-bath.
3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's exactly how big it is. Just like you have a 3-2, right?
Yes.
Plus 2 dorm.
Where are you now? Is this an office?
This is my office space here. So I've got to switch to my other appliance to do this.
Exciting. This is like a home show now. Look at it.
Yeah, we got to move fast though, because I let's see. Actually, I don't really have to move fast. I can move as slow as I want.
Where are you going?
No. Let's see. Doggone it. Stupid phone. Excuse my language.
Yeah, God forbid.
God forbid. Heavens to Betsy.
Heavens to Betsy. Now you sound like my mom.
All right, so it's going to echo real quick until I turn off the. Let's see. Here we go. All right.
Am I doing this by myself? How did this happen? I think I'm hosting. Welcome, everybody. Oh, he's been.
Am I coming? Oh, okay. All right. Got to get out of there because it's going to echo. So a quick tour of the house. So here we are. This is the living room.
Does the fireplace work?
Yes, it is a working gas fireplace right back there.
I like that.
So we should enter though. We should come in from the outside.
Okay. What kind of house? A colonial? What are we looking at?
We're looking at a bungalow style.
Oh, I love that. Oh, you got a palm tree.
That's a palmetto tree.
Oh. Is that where the bugs come from?
They don't actually live there. Mostly squirrels. But yeah, so this is our neighborhood.
That's a cute little neighborhood. That's nice. And I like it. All right, let's see the kitchen. I really just care about the kitchen and the bathroom.
Yeah, let's go in and see the kitchen. So I'm going to walk in the door first.
Okay. It's a nice door.
Yeah, we just painted the door. So, and then of course you
have a little office on the side. Lovely.
Yeah, that used to be a sunroom, and then we converted it to an office. And then this is the piano / dining room.
Okay. I like the piano.
My son.
All right, let's get to the stuff. The kitchen.
Yeah, so now this is the kitchen. So it has a built-in cabinet here.
Oh, like a butler's cabinet.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then this space was actually, it was a kitchen and a breakfast room, and we knocked a wall down and
good.
A full-size kitchen.
It's nice. It's so open.
Yeah.
It's like a home show. Look at the cat. Where are you moving, Chris? Oh, Chris is gone.
Second entrance, but we converted it to a stackable washer dryer area.
Look at you.
Hallway. Yeah, hallway. You know, everybody's got a hallway. Master bedroom.
Everybody's got a hallway.
Somewhat clean because we actually had a showing today, but I do have some crap there on the bed.
All right. Where are you moving to?
We're looking at a house that's actually close by. So this is my daughter's room. She's actually in here.
It's gonna be awful.
Hey, honey, we're showing the house to 179 people on Facebook.
She hates you.
Yeah, just 179. It's like 179 of my closest friends.
She's never gonna talk to you.
Okay, so yeah, so she's right here. She's hiding. She's under the covers there. She's not going to show herself.
That's exactly what I thought she'd be doing.
Yeah, but this is her room. So
nice.
She has a closet that looks like it's lived in.
Yeah, no.
And this is actually her.
Oh, look, she hates you. She hates everything
She
about
absolutely
you.
hates me.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi there. I'm sorry your father's doing this to you. This is not my idea.
Yeah, you would never do anything like this.
No, never invade my child's privacy and put it all over the internet for my own gain.
So this is her bathroom. So this
Well,
is like
that's
a guest
nice.
/ bathroom, and then we also I didn't show you in the master. This was actually added on this bathroom. Yeah, so that's space, nice
Ooh, that's
shower.
yeah, that's much nicer than mine.
And then finally,
Somebody that's planning on moving here?
maybe. Actually, my wife is just entering the house. She's gonna kill me too.
Oh,
And then this is the third bedroom.
so 3 bedroom, 2 bath. I like it.
Yeah, and then my wife is she's coming from yoga, so
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave her alone because
She doesn't.
no, she said she's sweaty. So
Yeah.
no,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah,
All
but
right.
I can yeah, I can post the link in the comments. Anybody who wants to come and buy our house.
I love it. Well, this was fun. Thank you for inviting me. I had a nice glass of wine with you tonight.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't finish. I think I had like 3 sips.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking.
Yeah, but that's cool. Thank you so much for coming again. And anybody who wants to check out Dena's page, it's right there, onefunnymother.com. And check out her show. And hopefully you'll get to do your actual comedy show whenever everything opens back up.
One day, yeah.
One day.
Exciting. It'll be very exciting.
All right. Join me now. I have this tradition at the end of every show. As I end the broadcast, we do a sitcom freeze.
Okay. What does that mean?
Just you have to freeze like you're in a 70s sitcom.
Oh, okay. So is there a specific look that we go for?
I think probably, it's got to be an ending that everybody can really enjoy. So, yeah. It could be they just found out that their mother's coming home for Thanksgiving, or maybe she did come home and so it exploded,
Okay.
and the turkey burned, something like that.
It was like,
Yes, that's it. So we're going to try for that, but I'm going to count to 3, and it's got to be totally different than what you just did, okay?
Here we go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Sitcom freeze.